One of our practice principles is that we're a practice, not a company. And I think the clinical value team represents that truly, and we serve the patients that we take care of. I mean, that's the primary goal with the clinical value, and I think overall for the entire practice.
When we first started building out the whole clinical value team in our national subspecialty divisions, we had over 50 radiologists that were interested in these positions. And that just shows you, not just 50 radiologists, but experts in their field. And coming to the table with a level of engagement that is just mind-blowing. They wanted to step up and they wanted to help.
Once they were selected, we sat down with each one of them and talked about how they could be supported and tap into the other experts in their field from other practices in the country. So we selected 5 advisory board members to help support the national subspecialty lead. And those folks wanted to take a step further. They wanted to feel like they were connected with all of the radiologists in the country within that specialty. So we created our national subspecialty divisions.
So nuclear medicine is something where a few people are trained, but a lot of people have to read it. And I found that the advisory board really helps to bring in what is a consistent, optimized practice versus what is individual preference.
If you're in a small practice, you're not going to be able to keep up on current literature, current recommendations, and then take those, turn them into PowerScribe templates, have them evaluated for billing, coding, and compliance and things like that. But with the national subspecialty leads and the clinical value team, we're able to have a number of individuals do that work and then use our scale to propagate that across the different local practices in the broader practice.
If you're an RP practice, if you're in a rural practice, if you're in a big, large academic center, our goal is that we deliver the same level of care to all of those patients and the same level of subspecialty care. So one of the things I'm very passionate about is stroke. And this is something where with a few easy changes, we can bring the level of care up at every site and make sure everyone's practicing to the latest guidelines and really helping the most patients suffering from stroke.
There's a lot of opportunity for collaboration between the different subspecialties like breast imaging, where cardiovascular risk factors are being contemplated on that screening population, how that can work with cardiothoracic imaging in terms of stratifying patients' risk factors. So there are opportunities for synergistic collaboration that don't necessarily occur to you when you're just practicing within your own subspecialty. So being able to work with others outside of it brings in new points of view and new opportunities.
When I initially took this role, I thought, I don't know if I can do this. This is such a big job. How am I going to do this? And I have the support team to do it. We have a structure and great communication within our team. So I'm responsible for sorting through the idea, thinking it through the clinical pathway. What's going to be the best way to do this? And then I have a lot of support in the background to actually execute that.
What I find on the clinical value team is not only the associate chief medical officers that we help support, but the other physicians that are on our team work 110% more than what we expect them to. Even the physicians that we have in our national subspecialty leads who are busy working radiologists, they're practicing every single day, they're supposed to carve out a small amount of time to give us on the clinical value team their expertise and their energy. And what I find is they give more. So that exemplifies for me the servant leadership and service roles that RP builds into its culture.
The clinical value team is doing really great work to support the mission of Radiology Partners to transform radiology. And so my role in the clinical value team is to really look for ways to bring that message out. That may occur through publication, it may occur through engagement with the American College of Radiology, it may occur through presentation and conversation at national meetings. And so this is where Radiology Partners Research Institute interfaces very closely with the clinical value team. I look at us as the public-facing mouthpiece for the ideas and concepts that are coming out of the clinical value team and looking for opportunities to get that message out there in a way that will be heard and understood by these end stakeholders who need to hear those messages.
We're in a field that is changing so rapidly and so quickly. And you would say, well, so much has already been done to transform radiology. But then you look ahead and there's so much more that can be done. And I think when you have an enterprise of this size with the number of people and leaders in it, I think it bodes well for the future as we continue that mission to transform radiology and allow the best treatment to our patients.